This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons.
Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Almost want to go Shakespeare here. My kingdom for a yard. Quarterback sneak, nothing doing.
Better be careful, Shakespeare. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Locke. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right, David?
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. To throw is Locke. He's going to float this one deep. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone. And it's second down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And now this throw complete to Washington. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Go. Watch it decline. And we got
A shotgun snap for Love. He's going to look deep for Perriman. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Rashad Perriman, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 30-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
X3, 218, chop. Hey, orbit.
2nd and 9 now. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Extra point right down the middle. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And we are tied at 14. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Let's make these babies cry. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Switch. Get it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. That's caught. It's Malone. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. These two teams all tied after one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Love, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did. Luck
on first down, and nearly picked picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Love. Got an open man. It's Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, here's Love. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this throw caught left side. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
I smell fear in that offense.
On first down, Love. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
57. Check. Mexico. He's 6'6". Pull it high. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
On 2nd down, Love. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Man open. That's Calvin Ridley. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have retaken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Open man there is Malone. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Throw left side complete. It's Malone. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for the Dolphins. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Boy, the run on 1st down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Here we go. 61, matchbox, right. 5.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
He's going to air one out. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards.
Let him know.
They'll fake it. Now Love. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Here's Love. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Love. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
We go!
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. 2nd and 13. This one caught by Ridley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Love. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
We got this. At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beat. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Luck. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
3rd and long, it's Long. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back now in the East Bay. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Set. 18 Gator. Check, 43. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. Check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. And Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Check.
Now a 1st carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
11.
From the 39, Luck. That is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
11Z.
Now Luck. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Locke. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Well, we looked at each other in surprise going for it on 4th down in the 4th quarter with a lead. But, hey, you get it as a coach. You look like a genius.
So the next time we see Coach, he's going to say, well, that's why I coach and that's why you guys talk up there, right? He had the guts to go ahead and go for it, and it paid off.
The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Watch the shit.
Second down and goal. Luck. And caught by Thomas for an Oakland touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. It's just
and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his second touchdown of the night, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Shotgun handoff now for Love. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Monday. 12. Hey, echo. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Throwing on third down. Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives,
and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the carry, it's Love. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
57, Mike. Mike 57. Hey, Mike 7.
Luck now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 14-yard line.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. He talked about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Raiders, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Miami, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. Early I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't